All right, welcome back to another awesome episode of Life on the App. This is episode 112. I am here with guest Adam Roush. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to start in on your bio, and we're going to get into a little bit more about you. So today's guest has one of those stories that just reminds you how winding and rewarding the path to purpose can be. Born in Kentucky and raised in rural Ohio, Adam Roush started his career in food after dropping out of college to pursue his passion for cooking. He climbed the ranks in Cincinnati's fine dining scene, eventually becoming an executive chef and helping shape the city's pop-up dining culture. But when COVID hit, burnout and desire for change pushed Adam to explore something new. What started as a side hobby, making candles and roasting coffee, slowly turned into something bigger. After moving to Wilmington, Delaware, Adam launched Dueling Rabbits Coffee, a small batch roastery and cafe known for its single origin beans, handcrafted candles, and passion for storytelling through coffee. Today, Adam imports much of his coffee directly from farmers across the world, especially from regions that are rarely represented in the United States, and roasts every batch right in Wilmington. His cafe celebrates coffee's incredible diversity through pour-overs, AeroPress brews, and even coffee flights that let guests taste the world in a single sitting. At the heart of it all, Adam's goal is very simple: to help people see just how beautiful and complex coffee can be when you understand where it comes from and the people behind it. So welcome, Adam.
Thank you. You know, I don't think I'll ever get used to hearing my own bio.
Yes,
it's such an odd thing.
It's weird.
It truly is.
It is. Well, welcome.
Thank
So
you.
excited to have you. So from your perspective, how did you get here?
Well, I mean, it also really started with COVID. You know, everybody had a different experience with COVID. Mine was positive in a way.
Yeah.
It really gave me an opportunity to realize I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm so burnt out working for someone else. You know, even as a chef and the creativity that I had, when you work for someone else, I could never be the full, creative potential I wanted. And, the long hours, the stress, coming home, being just stressed and not, constantly thinking about work. And it's for someone else, someone else's business. I really decided that it was time for me to move on and make some decisions. And it was a hard decision because leaving a career is, I had no clue what else I'd be good at.
Terrifying.
And I liked candles, but I could never find candles that I enjoyed. So I actually started out
picky.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started out making candles,
wow,
like as a fun little something to do during COVID. And I started giving them to friends and family, and they're like, "Hey, you're good at this."
Nice.
So I kind of used my skills as a chef of mixing fragrance or scents and ingredients to create something unique. And I really got into design and art, and I started designing labels and being like, well, what do I do with these? So I started pairing candles with the labels and created a whole candle line.
Wow. I'm obsessed with candles. I'm not picky. I will light any candle, but I love candles.
Yeah, well, I won't. I couldn't find like the candles that I really wanted, and that just started out as like an online thing. And then when I moved to Lexington with my wife, we opened up a little booth space in Julietta Market. She really pushed me to, get out there. And
we
really
love a supportive partner.
Yep. She's very supportive.
Good.
To get out there and start selling the candles, and that it just kind of exploded. And I had been roasting coffee as a hobby, but that wasn't something that I wanted to start in Lexington because I knew I was leaving Lexington.
Right.
We were on a time limit. She was finishing up her PhD and we were going to move here to Wilmington. So that was a goal. I already had a game plan before I moved out here of, where to start, what to do. And, this is what I wanted.
Cool.
And when we got to Wilmington, my wife's aunt, Sue Cox, does a little Fairy Potter homes. She does all the markets around here. She knew a lot of people.
Perfect person to be connected with.
Yeah. She got my foot in the door, and I started doing like a lot of markets, like Hagley and Winterthur. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I always get
Everyone says
corrected
it different.
on.
Everyone says it different. I think you said it right.
Okay.
You said it right. Like you said it like the bougie way.
Yeah. Good. And those type of events, and it got popular.
Cool. So what did you primarily start with, the coffee or the candles when you came here?
Yeah. I started out with the candles because there was, I wanted to make
lead
sure.
with what I'm good with.
It was also, I wanted to make sure I had the licensing and I had to do a little bit more research to make sure I can just roast coffee at home and sell coffee, So I ended up converting my laundry room into a roastery.
Wow.
I took that out the dryer vent whenever we weren't using. So I converted the laundry room to a little mini roastery, which was a lot of fights with my wife because she'd be like, "Hey, I have to use the dryer tonight." And, I'd unhook the dryer vent and put in the roaster vent and would roast coffee and
Wow.
convince all my neighbors, you can have a discount on coffee
Right.
if you don't complain about
Right.
this. But
It has to smell good.
Roasting coffee doesn't smell good in the beginning.
Okay,
It smells
okay.
kind of like hay or, really earthy fragrance to it. It does eventually smell good. I talked to the state and the city and made sure what I was doing was okay.
Nice.
And then, when I felt comfortable selling the coffee, I just went for it.
Wow.
Just started doing it. And it got really popular.
So this is still at the markets at this point.
Yeah, this
Nice.
is still at the markets. And then I really kind of got bored with some of my coffees being like, every time I would go buy green coffee, there's, hundreds of green coffee dealers out there, but everybody sells the same coffees. And during this time, I was reading a lot about coffee and I was reading the science of coffee. And so I can know as much about it as
You're a
possible.
coffee nerd. I love
I'm a super coffee nerd.
I love that. That's a
And-
cool thing to get into.
Yeah. Well, for some, some people are like, no. I realize there's 80 plus coffee producing regions, but in the U.S. you find, around about 12.
Okay.
Occasionally you'll find like somebody has like a rare origin or something like that, but it's not common. And all these big coffee dealers, they all have the same stuff. And I was like, well, I want coffee from Ghana or
Right.
Australia or, Galapagos Islands. Like, how do I get that coffee? So I started really doing research, and it started out by just like Googling, farms, and then I would contact the farms.
Wow.
And then I would spend weeks convincing these farms that Delaware is real. It's a real place. Yeah, it does
We
exist.
are on a
map. And I'm
Sometimes
not
you just say we're a suburb of like Philadelphia. Just say like, hey, I live outside of Philly.
Yeah, they were like, what is this? What is this, Delaware?
Or they think it's in Ohio.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Which you're also from.
Yeah. Dublin.
There you
Dublin. So that it turned into building the relationships, and then I became obsessed. I was like,
Yeah,
well,
I'm
once
in.
I got my first like exotic origin, I was like, oh man, I want them all.
Yeah.
And so it turned into that, and then that's where the idea came about of, well, I lived in Kentucky. Everything's bourbon bars.
Right.
Kentucky and Ohio, it's you go in and they've got your top shelf coffees and your mid shelf alcohol.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why don't I do
What's
that
the
with
difference?
coffee?
Yeah.
So that's where the idea really came about.
Nice.
Is doing the same type of concept, and it's just kind of gotten popular.
I love it. So at what point did you go from, okay, I'm just going to sell these at these markets to I'm now going to go sign a lease and have my own space?
Well, I started doing pop-ups first.
Nice.
Thankfully, my wife was like, okay, you got to really get out there and start doing things. So
Yep.
she went out and did some meetings with local bookstores.
Nice.
Finis and the Owl was one that we went to, and Huxley and Hero.
We're fans of Huxley and Hero. Yep. Big fans of them.
Claire and Jason and Ryan are wonderful people. And, we did a pop-up there, and it just really took off, and it became more of a common thing. Did them, once to twice a month.
Nice.
And then Claire bought a building at 601 North Market Street, David Bromberg's old building, and she approached me and said, hey, would you like to open a cafe in the back? And I was like, well,
Obsessed.
yeah,
Heck yeah.
let's do it.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, I went from there, and Huxley and Hero has been with me, helping me out the entire time.
Great people.
Great people, very supportive of small businesses.
Yep.
And she really, you meet a lot of people out there that own a business and are buying buildings that say, I want to help the community, but she
Right.
truly
Right,
is
and it's all
helping.
lip service.
She's showing it.
Yeah.
She's proving it.
I love that.
So we went through the process of that, and I stopped all events for about a year, even doing the pop-ups of Finis.
So what year are we at this point? Is this like 2024, last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it took about a year. We started in January
Nice.
doing any of the work
Nice.
itself, but to save money, we did as much of the work as possible. Like my
Yeah.
coffee counter, I built it myself.
We painted this office ourselves. Trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
work, but you know what? I feel more connected with my
Yes,
space.
and pride,
yeah.
much pride. Yeah.
Yeah. But even during that time, it was a little bit more ideas and concepts would come to me, and it was kind of built out during that process. So.
Cool. So if I've never been to your cafe before, I walk through the front door, what am I expecting to see?
Well, the interior part is kind of all pieced together. My focus wasn't on building the most beautiful cafe. I think I've done a pretty good job with making it look nice. It's a little industrial. It's a little European vibed, but the goal was good coffee.
Yeah.
I wanted to
At the
focus on
forefront.
coffee.
Yep.
And do something different and unique, which is, I don't do the syrupy, sugary lattes,
Right.
which There's nothing wrong with them. I drink them. I love them.
Yeah, same.
But the focus is coffee.
Nice.
The flights, the coffee flights, the single origin cups, the Italian espresso, the traditional way to drink them. That's our focus.
Cool. Is that one of the reasons you picked downtown for your location? Besides them coming to you, but I feel like the downtown scene, the downtown worker probably needs that like good cup of coffee, less of the sugar and junk. The people that are sitting up late and working on cases and bankers and attorneys and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. When Claire had approached us for the space, I had already kind of been looking anyways. Good. And the building was great. It's a cool location too. The location. I'm a history buff, and it's in a historic district, and it's like right there. So
you're in the heat of everything, Market Street.
I was like, when I'm not busy, I'm going to be going and looking at all this stuff and learning more history. So
I love it. So that was one of my questions. Why Wilmington? So you moved here, you lived here, you're doing all these pop-ups, you're all over the place, markets, pop-ups. You're out in Greenville, your Centerville area. You're kind of all over this place. Why did you hone in on downtown Wilmington?
Well, you know what? Wilmington's a really cool city.
I know this. Yeah, you don't have to convince me.
Yeah. Well, even doing all these...
But a lot of people don't know. A lot of people, they really don't.
I would do so many events, and people would be like, oh, why?
Why downtown?
No, don't go there. You don't want to go there after dark. Don't go to downtown it's wrong.
I totally agree. It's totally not true. And we're huge Market Street fans. Just all the businesses down there. We're big Bardea fans. Love the bookstore. Like we're huge. We did an art gallery tour last summer. It was like incredible. Like there's so many amazing businesses on Market Street and in that downtown area. And I think you picked the perfect spot. Yeah. So how has it been? When was your grand opening? When did you officially open?
The 30th and 31st, it was the grand opening. I did a little soft opening in between that time, but the 30th and 31st was the official grand opening. The governor came on the 30th. That was fantastic. What a very nice guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He knew my name starting out.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a big ribbon cutting?
We did. Yeah, we did the ribbon cutting, and then after the ribbon cutting, I had a line of people, so I was pretty swamped. I didn't get a chance to talk to everybody that came out. And then the next day, same thing, swamped again, and then this week or this past weekend, I was pretty busy as well. So great problem to have.
Heck yeah, great problem to have.
Very happy about it.
Yeah. So what is your current coffee order? If you were walking in there, and what would you order?
Into my own shop. Right now, I'm all about my Yemen. I just
what is that?
They were the
You're talking to a latte girl, like caramel junk, like throw it all in there.
My single origin Yemen. So Yemen is, Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee, but Yemen is the ones they started first roasting it. They were the first to do the coffee shops. They controlled the coffee industry for 100-some plus years, and you couldn't even get coffee out of Yemen. And they've been doing it the longest, and they're good at it. It's very unique coffee. It's got a great flavor to it, and you can drink it black. You can add creamer to it. It doesn't really matter. It's good either way.
So confirming, you're no longer roasting this out of your laundry room?
No longer out of my laundry room. No. I do roast out of the cafe space. I've got a separate room, which has a nice little vinyl that says roasting room on it. So I do all my roasting out of there.
Nice. So one thing I'm very, very fascinated with, if you've listened to any of these episodes before, is I'm super fascinated with the people like yourself who quit their job, right? They quit their 9 to 5, or I'm sure your hours were not 9 to 5 in the restaurant industry. But the people that have that gut feeling, whether it's COVID or whatever, life, thing that happens to them, that have their moment. I myself quit my job out of COVID to join this real estate team and start my own property management business. So I'm very, very fascinated with the people that have that gut feeling and kind of do it. So when would you say, was there an aha moment? Was there a day that you woke up and you're like, screw it, I'm done? Was there something that led up to this? I'm just always super fascinated with the people that literally cut the cord and jump off the mountain.
I wouldn't say there was an aha moment. It was more of I had kind of been burnt out from being a chef, more than a year before COVID. Wow. I was done with it. The lifestyle, the long nights, the long days, which I'm doing now as a business owner, but it's for yourself. Totally different.
It's totally different
for myself.
Totally different.
And during COVID, I think that gave me the opportunity of how it kind of worked. Is the restaurant shut down in Ohio. And because I didn't have to go to work that day, and then the next day, and the next day, it was kind of like, well, I've already started. So now's the game planning part. Like, what do I do? Where's my income going to come from? What do I actually want to do for a living? And a lot of different ideas came about, but none of them felt right. And I think being a business owner was the only one that I really felt like I wanted to do. That felt comfortable.
It's like a fire in your belly. Like that's how it was for me. Like I was working in corporate real estate and I couldn't post on social media. It was very, very confidential. And for me, the days that I was, posting content and just like being silly on Instagram were the days I was like, oh, I had a good day today. Fast forward, here I am with the podcast. And these are the days that I'm happiest.
Great feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was, the same for you, but it was just that feeling that, well, I was a chef, which it's very hard to become. To climb the ladder.
Is crazy. Yeah.
But it never felt complete. I felt like I wasn't meeting my ceiling as a person.
Potential.
Yeah, my potential as a person.
Yep.
And
I have more to give.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah. And doing this, what I'm doing now is like I feel like I'm actually achieving something. I'm really actually doing something for myself. And
and the community.
Yeah, and the community.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've always said it's okay to say is I'm very proud of myself as a person, and I'm sure you are too. It's a lot of work to get where you are and what I've done, and there's more to come. But
heck yeah, I love that.
I don't regret any of it. I would say.
Heck yeah. So you're also a father of 3.
Yeah.
What would you say has been one of the challenges of starting this business, being a father?
Well, during the construction of the cafe space, I was a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
Daycare is no joke expensive.
I got 2 of them in there. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We actually had done our budgeting, and it was we were going to save more money by me leaving my job. That I had a full-time job at the time. And,
totally get it.
Yeah. So I was a stay-at-home dad.
I think a lot of people learn that. I have a lot of stay-at-home mom friends, and it literally is insane.
Yeah.
You are only working to pay for childcare.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's like, well, there's no point in it. So
none. There's none.
And I got to build a better relationship with my kids. So it was great.
It's amazing.
It was a lot, obviously.
It's a lot. That being said, I could never do it. I give all the credit to stay-at-home. I don't like this. I have a friend that says I'm stay-at-home mom. I am a full-time mom.
Yeah.
So you were a full-time dad. I give all the credit in the world to the people that do that, because I think that is the hardest option.
Yeah.
I really do think that.
Yeah.
I could never do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like the minute my wife would get home, it's like, here, I'm so tired.
I'm exhausted.
I'm so tired.
It's exhausting.
But it's great. It truly was great. But it was a long process, because then I would start working. Then I've got to roast coffee. If I have an event coming up, well, I've got to roast, and I've got to work, and I got to do admin work, because I can't do that when my kids are running around. And so
nap time's only so long.
Yeah, that's true. But that's what really separates some people apart, is knowing that where to make sacrifices, and that I still spend time with my kids. Even now, I go home, no matter how busy I am, I go home and I have dinner with my kids.
It's amazing. And they'll remember that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so worth it.
They're more important than my business. So,
totally.
And once they go down, then if I got to go back, I'll go back and I'll work and I'll do what I need to do. But that was being a stay-at-home dad really helped in that, because I made such a connection with my kids.
That's amazing. They're going to remember that forever. They're so lucky for that.
So. Yeah.
What's something that you've learned business-wise that surprised you? So we've had people just tell crazy horror stories of I didn't realize that there was taxes for this, or I didn't, all those kind of crazy things. What's something you've learned in the last couple months? Besides downtown Wilmington's permitting process, I'm sure, did you have to pull any permits on your space?
Yeah, I mean, we
not
had to
too bad.
No, not too bad. Doing what I was doing, it was a pretty quick process, which is great. It's what was expected. I would say what the unexpected part and non-traditional part that I've learned through business is what I was just saying. Like it's okay to take a break. It is okay to not work the 100 hours a week. It is okay to tell yourself, like, hey, I still have hobbies. I still have a life outside of this, and learn how to balance the two.
Yep.
If I need to stop doing business work so I can sit down and watch a movie with my kids, or go to dinner with my wife, or do something, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'll just put all that work on the next day and get done what I can get done for now.
We're not curing cancer.
Not curing
cancer. That's what I like to tell myself. Yeah.
I don't
Everything we do can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. And don't have to build it all in one day. I've got time.
Totally.
I'm young.
You're young.
Yes.
Yes, I love that. So do you still do the candle making out of this space as well?
Not out of the space. No. the oils. You get a little fragrance oil on
Do
you.
you sell the candles there still?
I do sell the candles there. Yep.
What type of candles do you have?
They're really, I guess, unique.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
when I started making candles,
if you had candles that you can't find, they must be unique. 'Cause
Well,
you can get candles everywhere.
the fun part is, like I said, I start out with the label. So I design a label,
Nice.
and then I build a
Create
story
the
to
fragrance
it.
around it. Cool.
Create the fragrance, but the fragrance has to be something that's not found anywhere else.
I love it.
So I don't want to
That's so
copy
cool.
something that's
Yeah.
already done.
Right, you're not making driftwood or like laundry scent.
No. Like I've got one of my most popular candles is called Cypress and Earth. It's literally got the fragrance of dirt,
Wow.
grass. It's got cypress in it, obviously,
Nice.
and it really smells like waking up in a tent.
Would not be my go-to.
You say that until you smell it.
I'm an indoor girl. I played basketball and volleyball, all indoor sports. I'm an indoor girl, but no, I could see why people would like that, especially around here.
Yeah.
What other fragrances do you have?
A lot of them are masculine fragrances. I
sure.
feel there's not a lot of candles out there for men.
There's not.
There
No,
really
there's really
isn't.
not. Yeah.
You go to, TJ Maxx has a great candle selection because they're cheap. They're
Their
discounted
target
candles.
audience is right here, sitting across from you.
Yeah, but there's not hardly ever one that I want to bring home and burn that is not like just cheaper fragrance that isn't going to give me a headache. So,
Totally.
I do spend a little more on the fragrances. My candles are a little bit more expensive than, typical candles, but
They're
you
homemade.
get quality out of it, and there's a reason for it.
So listen up, if you want to get a candle for your guy, this is your guy to go to. And can you buy your coffee beans or, anything like that there, or is it only like your cafe cup?
Yeah, no. You can buy any of the coffee beans there. I do sell all my coffee merch. We've got mugs,
Got
we've got shirts, I've got
merch.
hats.
We're
Yeah.
big merch people around here.
Plants.
Where do you go to for merch?
So Other Industries makes my
Cool.
hats, my shirts. They do
Very cool.
a lot of great places around here, and
I gotta check
the
out your
owners
merch.
of it. Josh, he's awesome, great guy.
Nice.
And they do just a spectacular job
Heck
with
yeah.
their
I
product.
gotta check out your merch. I'm a big merch fan. So you've lived in Delaware now 3 years. We're going on 3 years. What is something that has surprised you about Delaware?
It's a small state,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, but it really embraces you. I would say Ohio and Cincinnati was more cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of people out to get each other, and it really truly does feel more family oriented. It's like people really get along here.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everyone, but in a good way. I love the old aspect
Be
of
here
it.
a little longer. You might not feel that way because we do all know each other. I've lived here my whole life, so.
Again, I don't go out.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know as many people.
But I'm sure your wife does.
She does.
Yeah.
For, like her classmates, but then they all went all over, all over the country and stuff. But Delaware's cool. There's a great food scene here too.
There is a great food scene.
It's really starting to grow, and
Yeah.
the coffee scene's really starting to grow here, and it's very important because that's an economy that's not tapped yet by a lot of places. Like Philly and stuff is cool. It's got coffee shops, but nobody's really tapping that coffee scene or that food scene.
Yeah.
And I think Wilmington's starting to really embrace that.
We're ripe. We're ready for it.
Yeah,
We're ready for it.
yeah.
So you're not from Delaware, so I think your perspective on I'm going to do Adam's favorites, if you wouldn't mind
Okay.
me
Yeah,
jumping
yeah.
into some of them. I warned him that I would be doing this. So just because I'm curious, because I've lived here my whole life, so my favorites are going to be different than yours. So you've lived here 3 years. So what is your go-to if you have a date night with your wife? Where are you going to take her?
Probably a play.
A play.
Yeah.
Where do you like to go? The Queen?
The Queen's great.
Playhouse, yeah.
The Playhouse is where we typically go.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's a really cute little
It's the
venue,
best.
and it's fantastic.
They've always got unique stuff coming here too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always good for a show or two every year there. And then where would you go out to dinner? And we don't get a babysitter that long.
Yeah. It's probably something we try to try something different every time.
Right.
I don't have a go-to place yet.
Yeah, you're still mixing it up.
I'm still exploring a little bit. There's a lot of places that I would love to go to that
What's
is
on your
on my
list?
radar. Lafia's on there.
Lafia's phenomenal.
What's the place in Hotel DuPont? What's the name of it? La Cavaliere.
La Cavaliere,
Yeah.
Yep.
I really want to eat there. That's my
You
style.
can even just do that for like a brunch or a lunch. They have really good stuff, but it's beautiful at night too.
I'm really looking forward to sitting down and doing that.
Nice.
And you know, the pizza scene's starting to pick up here in Delaware.
We're big
too,
Nick's Pizza
so.
fans. We're big fans of Nick's Pizza
Nick's
in
is
North
good.
Wilmington.
Yeah.
We hit Gianni's a lot for lunch just because it's right there.
I've had Gianni's. It's good. Right over here.
Literally
okay,
right here.
Yeah, I've had that.
That's your go-to for a slice and fries, like quick in and out.
Yeah.
Gianni's the best in there. Okay, so if you weren't going to drink your coffee, what's your other favorite coffee shop?
Around here, I wouldn't say my favorite coffee shop. Before I opened the spot, for one, I drink obviously my own coffee. It's cheaper for me to do.
Sure.
And, I'm always on a budget. Scout's great.
Scout's great.
Really, I love going in there. I love the vibe.
Yep.
I would say, I think Brandywine coffee roasters are underrated in the Delaware. They've really put Delaware coffee on the map.
Totally.
They do a great job with what they do.
Yeah,
and,
they crush it.
They're the big dogs, but they're good at it.
The big dogs in the little state.
Yeah, but there's a reason for it. You know, they've got good coffee. They really do.
They are great.
And the scene, like I said, there's a lot of great roasters here in the area, and it's only going to get better.
It's growing. Yep. What's your favorite takeout? If you guys are getting takeout.
She is probably ordering Indian food.
Okay, nice.
I can't think of the name of the place. It is
out.
No. It is out off Carpenter Station Road. What's the name of that place?
Carpenter Station Road. I'm trying to think where there's Indian over there. I'm blanking. I don't know, but good to know. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Drop that in.
It's good.
All right, cool.
And they have a buffet on Sundays.
Oh, heck yeah.
Fantastic.
Are you guys happy hour people? Do we like to have a cocktail?
I occasionally will. My wife, 100%. So she is a Catherine Rooney's. That is her place.
Okay, so Trolley Queen. We love that.
Her entire family goes there.
Yes.
Her mom loves that spot. That's where she goes, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going out with my mom tonight." And
Wow,
that's where they go.
Going.
So.
Okay, so Rooney's is like the best. So we've had Joe McCoy on, the owner. Great people, great family. He lives around the corner. I'm a big Rooney's fan. Obviously, I'm super Irish, so Rooney's is definitely a go-to.
Good food too. I mean, the food's good.
So if you were here, I would say 10 years ago, the food started slipping a little bit. They've really ramped up their food menu in the last couple of years. And I get it on DoorDash. I live 4 blocks away, but if I'm home alone and, I got to order, I'm going to get Rooney's DoorDash. And it's, the guy probably sees I'm really going to drive 4 blocks that way, but I can't leave my kids. What am I going to do? Yeah. So Rooney's is my go-to on DoorDash because they're so good. Yeah. They're so good.
It really is. I was impressed.
Yeah.
A lot of times, bar food isn't the best.
No, it's not. Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Any other local businesses in the area, maybe that you've met through the markets, or any other local businesses you guys like to frequent?
There's so many people I've met doing the markets. It's really hard to name them all.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of talent in this state.
Totally.
A lot of people with these small businesses, and they need help with a foot in the door. And that's one thing I'm going to do with the cafe spaces. We're going to offer pop-ups. I'm going to have people come and set up and pop up. As a specific business, I don't think I have anything off the top of my
All
head.
good. Where can people follow you? Do you have any events coming up? Anything, that you want to shout out?
Yeah, our social media, Dueling Rabbits Coffee. They can always follow us on there. They can find us on Google. We're on there. I'm still trying to learn the Apple stuff. Apparently, I didn't even know there's a whole different Apple Maps.
Yeah, me neither. I probably should figure that out as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I can be found on all that.
Cool.
Social media, we do our videos and stuff. My wife runs it. She does a great job.
Good for her.
It's typically...
It's a grind.
It's a grind, and she always catches me off guard because if she's doing a video,
That's the best way. Yes.
it's like I don't even know. I know she's going to do one, but I don't know when she's going to do one. So she always catches me off guard.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You were awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait to come check out the spot. We'll be there probably this week because we'll want to get some content for this. So we'll be there this week. Can't wait to see it.
Perfect.
Thanks for coming in, Adam.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Another awesome episode of Life on the App. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week.